So Pulsechain has higher throughput, better security, lower environmental impact to the point of nearly none, is a newer coin with more features, is faster than Bitcoin. But Bitcoin has an $800 billion market cap. Pulsechain doesn't. Why? Well, we're new. We're on the way, right? Things will get better, in my opinion. So, like, oh, and for you listening, is that a forward-looking price statement? Nope, not a forward-looking price statement, not financial advice. So we've got a wonderful network. We've got wonderful features. We've got wonderful airdrop. There's, you can do lending on the Pulsechain network. There's projects that let you borrow coins. There's projects that there's stable coins on Pulsechain. There's all types of stuff people have launched on Pulsechain. Guys, the network is good. Works great. Oh, and the bridge is free too. Somebody set the bridge to 0 fee so that using the bridge has no fee, both directions. So if you go to bridge.pulsechain.com, there's no fees currently. In, out, either way, no fees. Now you're going to pay a fee on the Ethereum network. Nothing you can do about that. That's Ethereum's side, right? So you got a great network and you got a ton of free coins. And it's been worked flawlessly for 7 months. Go make it great, guys. Launch stuff on it, use it, build fiat on-ramps, make a money transmitter in your state, make a licensed money transmitter in your state, and you can, make the community better. Like,
Everybody, and welcome back to the show, ya boy. And we've got a bit of a deep dive. It's been a little while since we looked at the SEC case. What was it, a couple of days ago? And we really didn't have the information that we expected at the time. But we know that Richard Hart was served with or at least received, the lawyers received, I should say, the SEC, the plaintiffs' rebuttal for the motion to dismiss. So we're going to get into that today and do a good overview of what's been happening recently with that. So I hope you guys enjoy that. Richard Hart's been posting about it today. Richard Hart has called for Amicus briefs. We're going to get into that, what those are, and how the community can help there. That's actually a very strong move. So we're going to look forward to that, and hopefully we get a good response from the community and crypto at large. So people all over crypto, hopefully that plays out too. So looking forward to that. And maybe even politicians and all sorts of people can participate in that. Could really scale up the scope because there's some fundamental issues there for president and things like that. So we got also Coast Direct Pulsechain buys are back, baby. Back. So big shout out to Coast for getting that back up and running. These commercial arrangements and stuff, they're challenging to set up. So big shout out to the coach for the determination and seeing those direct buys back up. And of course, if you guys haven't joined up to Coast, the link's in the video description. That is Brian's referral link. So big shout out to Brian. I think he's number 2 after Crypto Coffee, the big influencer. So, Brian's doing pretty well there. So sign up using that link and you can directly on-ramp to Pulsechain via that way, which is pretty cool. All right. What else are we going to say? We've got lots to talk about today. We're going to talk about the gas time on Pulsechain. Some people experiencing, even though we've got 10-second block times, give it, some people experiencing, it could take up to 2 minutes. Then we're going to talk about why that is. So a big shout out to KG. KG's addressed the issue, so I thought we'd talk about that in the live stream. So if you're wondering about why it sometimes takes 2 minutes rather than 10 seconds, we're going to talk about that. That's coming up. What else we got? Let's see. We're going to be talking about, obviously, Pulse Mafia. We're going to talk about that. And BNB Mafia. We'll do an update that's going to be at the end of the live stream. We've got some new feature there out. So we're going to talk about hiding your inventory, which is pretty important in the game. So we're going to talk about that. All right. We've got a poll up, of course, around Coast. So get in there. We've already got 10 votes. So big thanks to everybody for getting a lot of these polls, people getting into it. We've got what do you do with the Coast Direct on-ramp to Pulsechain at the moment? We got I use it now. I've used it in the past. I might sign up now and use it. Links in the video description. I don't intend using it, so get in there on that as well. So kind of cool. And check it out anyway. If you haven't checked out the website, check it out. The link's in the video description, and see if that's something that suits you. It's direct link, right? So from your bank through to picking up Pulse and stuff like that can be very convenient for a lot of people and huge for adoption of the chain. Remember, regardless of what happens with the SEC, the chain is fully decentralized, so it's going to continue operating. The YouTubers are probably going to continue to live stream, regardless of the outcome. The development team probably still going to continue to do particularly Ethereum upgrades, things like that. So there's it's just going to keep going along there. Now, obviously, it will become a bit of a rebel chain, but it will still be out there and doing its thing. So we shall see where it heads. All right, so let's get into it. We've got a few comments in the chat there. We got Lies Beneath. Hello, how are you today? Very good. We've got Hex Pulsex incentive for the win, 100%. The golden crypto strategy there. And at the moment, the biggest bargain ever. We're going to talk about Richard's response to the market price at the moment as well. So stay tuned for that. Brendan says, good morning, Superman family. Hey, Brendan, hope you're doing well. Our TA guru is in the house. Craig Pitt as well. Morning all. Hey, Craig, hope you are doing well. And always a pleasure having the chat there. Brendan's giving us a little bit of heads up around the charts there on ETH. So we'll talk about that when we get up to it. Who else has jumped there? Wookie as well. Let's start this bull run. Yeah. Hey, look, I'm feeling pretty good for October now. And, we've got a little bit of volatility in between. The Ethereum also for ETF for July could be quite bullish, particularly for Ethereum and altcoins. We'll look at that too. We've got Archie, the Don of the Syndicate in the house there. Big shout out to Archie. Absolutely crushing it in the Syndicate. So big shout out to you, Archie. Looking forward to all that you're going to tell us to do. We love it. All right, we've got Fura in the house there. Hello, everybody. Thinking of the Syndicate. We've got Crypto Fura in the chat there. Good to see you as well. And welcome to the family. Welcome to the family, as we say. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Let's move on. All right, so let's go into the stock market to kick it off. We've got NVIDIA leads NASDAQ and S&P to record highs. So the stock market continuing to crush it. And you can see the results today. Pretty awesome. So we're covering, what day is it? We're covering Wednesday's results. We've got the Dow Jones at the moment up 1%, 429 points. What a big move to 39,721. We've got the S&P 500 up another 1% as well, 57 points to 5,633. Remember, these are record levels. And of course, we've got the NASDAQ as well at almost 1.2%, 216 points to 18,645. NASDAQ with all the tech companies in it. So cool. US dollar is down a little bit versus the trading partners at 104.66. Let's jump over to commodities. And we can see that West Texas is up 0.5% at $82.47. Brent oil there is up just slightly at $85.44 per barrel. Gold at the moment is just down very slightly, $1.45 to 2,378. And finally, silver there is up 1/3%, up 10 cents to $31.11. Now, silver is going to be the one to look at and ahead of us. Now, we're bullish about crypto, but silver, you've got to be bullish about silver moving ahead, especially if we get a pivot in September, November in the interest rates and the US dollar devalues relative to that, and silver takes off. It's already got over $30. That's a very good early sign of things to come potentially. So excited about that. Might do a fire, might get to $100, $125 on the move. So let's see. Really exciting there. Now we had some, obviously talked about Powell and things like that. And that's where we are at the moment. I think we've got the inflation data coming up. The US inflation data is due this week, and it includes the consumer price index on Thursday. So we'll be able to talk about that tomorrow. So it's going to be cool. And the producer price index report on Friday, we'll be able to talk about that the following day, which is going to be my Saturday, right? So we've got two key pieces of economic data around inflation coming up in the next 2 days. So there we go. Expectation of a 25 basis point rate cut by September ticked up to 74% from around 70% on Tuesday and 45% a month ago. So yeah, September is looking much better from the market's point of view. We shall see. All right, so that's pretty much the stock market looking pretty good. And let's go to crypto because it's after all, that's where the mad gains can be made. Kind of cool. We've got Space D007 in the house here, when Mafia games will start and why Mafia token down. We'll talk about that when we get up to Mafia. That's going to be later in the show, though, D007. Wookie's in the house there. Look out for the silver Wookie. Yeah, indeed, the silver Wookie. and his little silver surfboard or skateboard. Wookie and a silver skateboard. Hey, maybe you should taper your skateboard silver there, Wookie, in tribute. Anyway, we got Bitcoin at the moment, $57,647. It is down 0.5% at the moment. ETH there looking very, very fine indeed. $3,100 and up 1.2%. We got Solana is green. It's up 0.5%. XRP up 0.8%. I got ADA there. Of course, ADA's got the fork coming up. I told you tip of the day was yesterday, wasn't it? I think I talked about ADA and the Chang fork. Chang fork from Shogun. Shogun? No, it's more Chinese, isn't it? Chang from Beijing. It's going to be coming up there 3.8%. That's at 39 cents at the moment, ADA. And some of the analysts were talking about, huge gains, 130% gains from the bottom. So, yeah, huge potential upside there for ADA. We'll see if we get that run up. We're expecting it on the 15th or 16th, right? So that's a Monday, Tuesday next week, if I'm right on that, on the calendar. So ADA there, just making another little inch gain there. Is it going to have a little run over the weekend? And, of course, you always want to sell the pump, right? If it's going to pump like that, you want to sell on the pump. Once again, returns not guaranteed, right? Returns not guaranteed, but that is the play for the Chang fork upgrade. Was it democratizing the chain with voting and everything else next week? So it could be a big deal. Certainly at the bottom, right? The price does seem really oversold on ADA, so probably a good probability for the upside. Tron at the moment up 1.3% at 13.1 cents. Matic is green today. What else is looking good? Litecoin, Matic and Litecoin are both up 2.5%. BNB up 1.5%. Those are kind of the leaders there at the moment. All right, so let's get into a comment that Brennan made about the TA. ETH closed above 200 EMA and Bitcoin closed below. Could we see Ethereum dominance run? Well, let's check out some of that now. So we've got Bitcoin at the moment. It is, as you say, Bitcoin closed below the 200 moving average. We can see that here now. So we got the 200 moving average currently at $58,174 on Bitcoin. The 50-day is currently at $62,672, and we are below that 200, very important line that technicals look at, and we're at 57,562. So we're below that at the moment. So question mark there, will we manage to get back over there? And obviously we've had the Germans selling, a little bit of buying, but selling mostly. And people have been buying the German Bitcoin, right? So it's kind of been it. And we also got Mt. Gox seems to be slowly scaling Mt. Gox Bitcoin into the market. And if it does sort of come in but in drips and drabs, that could be good for Bitcoin as well, being much easier to absorb. We also see the Bitcoin ETFs. I think we're doing pretty well today as well. If I remember, I should have probably pulled those charts up for the ETFs as well. We might do that. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. We'll bring up the market structure of Bitcoin there. All right, kind of cool. That's it. I think that's all we're going to say about Bitcoin. Yeah, so it is below the 200-day at the moving average, but not too far below. We'll see how we go on that. And of course, we've got the Ethereum ETFs coming up. So let's get into that. Before we do that, though, let's jump over to the Bitcoin runes, and we can see the first meme coin season on Bitcoin. Obviously, with Bitcoin just struggling around the 200, we've got the runes or the meme coins, which are leverage plays on Bitcoin, just down at the moment. So nice little pickup zones for these. Dog obviously down 6% at the moment. Market cap at 424 million. So really good entry on the old dog at the moment. Obviously, you can see some of the other leaders are down at the moment as well. Decentralized, which is an Ethereum NFT team that went over to Bitcoin, means following the next big trend. They're up 11% today, so good one on Decentralized. What else there? Rune down 30%, pretty aggressive. Lobo the Wool Pup, which is another one of my favorites, is actually up 1.7% at the moment. And then a Pep Rune Bitcoin, which is actually a really high etch number, 86,567. So when I say that, it means it's when it's been minted since the Bitcoin halving. Up 2,600% there, 27 million. So that's made a big, strong move there, Pepe Rune Bitcoin. So pretty interesting there. Must have a good team behind it to get up there. Is my guess. Does it stay up there? Question mark, right? Question mark. It's managed to push out Satoshi Nakamoto down to number 11. So that's interesting there as well. So that's on Magic Eden. Now, obviously, we've also got NFTs on Bitcoin for the first time too. You can see Runestone by Mark 24 hours is actually up 10%. So we've got a lot of increases in the floor prices for a lot of the NFTs on Bitcoin. So isn't that crazy? But the runes or meme coins, utility coins, pretty much down today for the most part. You want to check those out, check it out. And if you want to join Strategy Club, talk more about that sort of stuff in Strategy Club in the Discord, $35 a month to join up for that. But we're always looking at these multi-chain opportunities. All right, so that is the link there if you want to check that out. You don't want to miss the Bitcoin meme season for the first time ever in the biggest probably bull market we're going to have eventually when it kicks really into gear, probably by October is my guess. Let's go. Let's jump over to the Ethereum and see where Ethereum is. As Brennan was saying, the ETH closed above the 200 EMA there. We can see that. That's very bullish, isn't it, Brennan? Just above the 200 EMA, which is currently at $3,085. The 50-day is at 3,349. And yeah, we got a nice little push here, which hopefully, just like we had convergence of the 50-day and the 200-day here, we were getting it here as well, right where we are now. Hopefully we get to break that away and continue to move up, right? That is the play. We've got the Ethereum ETF. It's still expected launch set for the 18th of July now. And that was based on Balkahunas, the Bloomberg analyst. So that's kind of our marker there. And then, of course, we've got, I think, a very bullish end of the year, man. Obviously, September is normally a negative month for Bitcoin in particular, even possibly in the Bitcoin halving year, especially with Mt. Gox hanging over it. But October, I think, onwards is looking pretty good for Bitcoin and the rest of the market. And we might see, as Brennan's sort of talking about, we might see Ethereum dominance, which would be pretty interesting. That'd be, not calling a market flippening, as it were, in terms of market cap, but certainly Ethereum and altcoins potentially dominating, leading in the next couple of months. So this Ethereum ETF is only a couple of days away. That is the bullish news. And that's at 7 days. And don't forget, on the 18th, so on the 15th, 16th, so a couple of days before, Monday, Tuesday, we've got the ADA fork with Chang. And then we've got the Ethereum ETF potentially by the 18th. So question mark there, but looking pretty positive in July regardless. So yeah, really bullish zone coming up ahead of us. And we've got the markets kind of responding at the moment, moving back over the 200 moving average there. So very, very cool for Ethereum. Then, of course, we potentially got the 10th of September. We could, like I say, we had a 74% chance of a interest rate pivot, 25 basis points. If we don't get the September, then we'll likely get it in November, sorry. And, of course, that inflation data coming out this week for the CPI and the PPI are going to feed into that expectation. So fingers crossed. Now, if we get that on the US, then maybe central banks around the world will also start pivoting a bit earlier than later. So fingers crossed on that, particularly here in New Zealand. I mean, they're kind of crazy. The central bank here is kind of a bit crazy, and I could show you some video clips of that. But anyway, so that's kind of it. Likely interest rate pivot, and then the US election. If we get Trump in the power, not only are we going to defend the Western civilization from collapse and for freedom and protect freedom, but we're also again, Trump is pro crypto, and so he's had a lot of people in his ear, and of course he has turned around to be pro crypto now, seeing the freedom and everything else that gives productivity, innovation, all that sort of stuff. So that would be hyper bullish. So we start moving, into October, September with the interest rate pivots, the Ethereum ETFs, the Bitcoin ETFs, really we on takeoff there for October. So I think October is looking really, really good. Spurred on there right into 2025. So it's coming, folks. It's coming. And of course, we've also got the Richard Hart stuff. Now, I've got a Richard Hart timeline. We're going to talk about that when we get up to Pulsechain, so that you could overlay that on here. But that's got obviously Richard Hart versus the SEC, Pulsechain versus the SEC, Pulsex versus the SEC, and Hex versus the SEC. So we're going to have to talk about all that. So that's coming up as well. All right, let's move on. So that's kind of the overview, the big market view. We have got meme coin season though. So memes are always out there and about, and we've seen a huge retrace in the meme coins because of Bitcoin coming down and everything. But Ethereum, of course, getting back over the 200 a day, very impressive. And we're seeing a lot of activity on Solana. And so, there's opportunities abounds. Current market cap at the moment of all crypto on coin market cap is 2.13 trillion. And that is up 0.2% at the moment. So it's a little bit green. But the meme coins, they were down pretty severe on the weekly. It's starting to taper off now. They're starting to taper off. And we're starting to see a little bit of green shoots here on the 24-hour. Oh, very small, but seeing a little bit of a turnaround here with Ethereum over that 200-day moving average. Dog with hat, that is down still a little bit on the 24-hour, making a little bit of recovery here on the hourly. Floki is up a little bit there. Mogcoin making a nice little move for the week, up 14%, 8.5%. And of course, we get down to Dog here, which has been down 22%. So really nice pickup for Dog at the moment, 4,300 for a penny. And of course, the next charge is likely to be towards over a penny when it does make it. So you're getting pretty much the bottom of the move from my point of view on that Dog. So there we go. Dog on Bitcoin. Just makes sense to have the most valuable meme. And in meme coins, they re-rate really quickly. So you want to pick it up during this time of the year before we get to October, because it could be off to the race and you'll be saying, I shoulda, coulda, woulda. I wish someone had told you. Well, someone told you, and it's up to you to decide what you're going to do there. All right, there are some other good opportunities there as well. Of course, there's Mogcoin, which has entered the phrase, doing pretty well. Popcat was doing well there. It's sort of tapered off there at the moment. Maybe Mega Trump does very, very well on Mega Trump there, and that could a lot of the Trump coins all over the place you see, but you got to pick the right ones, right? The ones with the chance to really make the big moves. And of course, with the US election coming in November the 5th, this could be do really well. The top Trump coins don't take too much of the small risky ones, but if you get some of the bigger ones, bigger communities that have already sort of shown they've got some ability to move higher, then that's what you should look at. And that's on Ethereum, right? This one here, Mega Trump is on that. All right, now I want to talk about Pulsechain. So let's do that. Pulsechain at the moment, KG from Internet Money Wallet, crypto expert, says, I often see people report slow transactions and block speeds on Pulsechain. So I know many people have talked about this and laughed about it. Supposed to have 10-second block times, right? Which we do, but the transactions can take a couple of minutes sometimes. Someone put a video out on X, I think it was yesterday, showing that their 10-second block time was like 2 minutes on the transaction. So there we go. But they were using MetaMask. So KG's rightly putting out, this is not a function of Pulsechain. This is a result of the wallet you are using. Well, that's all I can say there. MetaMask is bad at calculating Pulsechain gas and often asks you for too little gas. So there we say that again. MetaMask is bad at calculating Pulsechain gas and often ask you for too little gas. This means your transactions take longer to process, if at all. Using the only wallet in existence optimized for Pulsechain on Android, iOS, and Chrome, Internet Money solves this and shows you the true reality of how fast Pulsechain is. Stop blaming Pulsechain because you're using wallets that weren't built for it. And we know MetaMask has a lot of problems with Pulsechain, particularly showing, I think, US dollar value is still a problem, I think. And the right correct US dollar value, stuff like that. So yeah, definitely a problem there. I'm going to post a link to this if you want to follow up on Internet Money Wallet and download the wallet. Another wallet you can use, of course, is what is that wallet called? Just remember here, I've got it up here actually on the list. Rabby Wallet. Rabby Wallet's another good one. So there are good wallets out there that are pretty fast. So yeah, Internet Money Wallet, Rabby Wallet. Those are really good interacting with the Pulsechain. But obviously, Internet Money is the optimized, dedicated wallet to Pulsechain. So check it out with brother KG. Share that post around too. Very important to get the right information out there. So big shout out to KG for posting that one. All right. Brother KG, hey brother KG. All right, enough of that. All right, let's move on. All right, so we're going to get into Pulsechain. We're going to get to the results. We've got a lot to talk about with the SEC stuff, and we'll talk about that too. So at the moment, we got day 425 on Pulsechain. The Pulse price is down 2.83%, being pressured by the SEC, response as the plaintiff for the motion to dismiss that Richard Hart, as the defendant, has put up. Quadruple zero 384 down 2.83%, 38% of the mean sacrifice price at the moment. And of course, Pulsex at quadruple 018 down 3.17% at the moment. And of course, the buy and burn is at 917.3, let's say, billion Pulsex has been bought and burned, and it's 4.53% of the total supply. And of course, you can add on top of Power City Earn Protocol. That takes off probably about another 4% or something like that. Last time I checked. So yeah, that is off the market. Same token at the moment, $1.88, down 5.17%. We did break the 50,000 mark though. We're down at 49,000 at the moment. So Pulse is down 2.83%, but the same token is down 5.17%, and that's because of that ratio going down. We still have 35,477,000 tokens in existence, and those are produced by the V1 Pulsex farms, which people are earning very nice yields. Those yields, of course, arguably either being sold into the market, accumulated, or put into the incentive farms. So there are 2 incentive farms that people can recycle that down and compound. So there'll be a bit of a mixture of those sort of things happening. Hex at the moment is at just under 45/100th of a penny. This is a steal right now for Hex. Down 1.87% at the moment. EHEX at the moment, 13/100th of a penny, so that's pretty stable. But PHEX has been under pressure, and the combined price of EHEX and PHEX at the moment, 57/100th of a penny at the moment. So Hex is a right steal at the moment as well. So that is kind of the play there for day 425. We're quickly going to go to the gas prices and stuff like that, just to get that out of the way. To have a look at the gas prices at the moment, 135,000 beats, so pretty low on Pulsechain. Only 0.2 of a penny for a Pulsechain swap, so that's pretty good. Validators, 48,405 validators at the moment, 1.55 trillion off the market. It's a good time to get your Pulse, 32 million Pulse, and start validating today. And you can get hardware through the validatorstore.com from David Feder. Big shout out to him. So big opportunities. When the markets are down like this, there's always opportunities, right? Always opportunities. And just take that into account. The total bridge, this is kind of our health check or a heartbeat on Pulsechain, 94,500,000. So pretty similar, just slightly down from yesterday. And you can see the DAI is down about 700,000. That's down about 700,000 on the DAI with 27.3. So some of the DAIs obviously probably left the chain. We've got ETH at the moment, 26,400. Let me just pull up a bit of a metric here because I got a picture of this from 2 days ago. I should have done one yesterday, but yeah, we got that down. So that is actually ETH is actually up from 2 days ago. So I don't have yesterday's balance, but 2 days ago. Yeah, and we're at 9th. Yeah. So ETH is actually up because of the ETH price. So we're up in about $500,000 on the ETH. So that's good news. And yeah, we're down 700,000 on the DAI. We got the USDC is looking is down slightly, about 150,000, 120,000, 130,000 from 2 days ago. We got USD Tether is looking pretty similar. We're actually up slightly, about $40,000. EHEX at the moment is down about $140,000 from 2 days ago. The stablecoin Coast is pretty much the same, and the Bitcoin is pretty much the same. So there we go. DAI is the big mover today. DAI. Die hard. But ETH is up. So that's kind of good. All right, so that is the play. That's on the prices. Obviously, there's volume moves there impacted as well. So that is with the DAI. All right, let's jump over to the talk about the SEC. Should we do that? I think so. Let's talk about the SEC here. And before we do that, let's see if anyone's got any comments. Now, if you've got any comments, get into the chat. We always love a lively chat there. Have you got any views on this? I'm entering the SEC period here. So we're going to look at the daily. At the moment, we can see that in the daily, we are down in the oversold period. We're bouncing in and there all the time on the daily here for Pulse. And at the moment, we're at the bottom. So we're probably likely to bounce out of here at the moment. We did have on the day that just closed, we had the low on Pulse as 3,963 with 4 zeros, of course, in front of it. So we've got the low there. Let's have a look at how that stacks up. We obviously have broken down, and I guess the next line there is 3,700. We kind of bounced from that at the moment, and we're currently at 3,838. So fingers crossed we hold that. The next one, of course, below that is 3,300. So we kind of want to hopefully we hold where we are now. It was a form of resistance, and so yeah, let's see how we go. Hopefully it'll offer a bit of support. Otherwise, next zone is down to 3,400. So fingers crossed on that one. Obviously, you can pick up as a buyer's market. You can pick up a lot of Pulse right now when people are fearful. And of course, we're getting pressured by this, probably by this SEC sentiment as at play. And we had a big Pulse X seller the other day. Remember that? So that is in play. So let's have a look at the time zone with the map. Before we do that, though, let's have a look at the weekly. You can sort of see the weekly here. The RSI is down at 32. So we could go lower, but at the moment we are trying to hold on to this zone right where we are at the moment. Like I say, the next one would be 3,400. So that'd be quite a steal, picking up some Pulse there. Now let's go back to the daily here and look at what's coming up. Now, obviously, let me get coming up here. We've got the SEC motion to dismiss that came in 3 days ago. So this is kind of what we've fallen since we had that. The market has fallen. I don't know. Let's take the top of that market at the time. It has fallen about 9.5%, so just under 10% since the SEC motion to dismiss. So I mean, it's a bit of a move down, a bit of correction, but not a major there. 20-30% or so at the moment. Then the next thing we've got coming up is RH response to the SEC motion. That is coming up on the 22nd of August. So that's actually a bullish move. One might say this is a bearish event. This is a bullish move. RH is response to the SEC motion to dismiss. So that's coming up on the 22nd. And of course, today you also put out what I call a bullish thing for the case. Anything that strengthens the case is a good thing. And so that is coming up in 42 days. That's when we expect it, 42 days by the 22nd of August. And then we have what I would say is a bearish event, but potentially it's in the middle ground because we just don't know how that's going to play out. But we got oral arguments in the court for the motion to dismiss, and that is 103 days from now. That's just over 3 months, right? So let's say 3.5 months away, and that's in the 22nd of October. Also, we're expecting, or at least I'm expecting the market to pick up in October, and of course rally in through the new year, particularly if we get the interest rate pivots, the normal bullish October we normally get. And of course, following a Bitcoin halving, we normally get the big rally. And of course, we get Trump and the power and pro-crypto and pro-freedom. Then that could be extremely bullish moving forward. And of course, that would have ramifications for the executive in the United States and also the SEC, right? And he'll probably clean shop there, right? Clean shop, get rid of all these crazies at the SEC. The SEC is already bleeding out people, right? So we might see some good action there. See what I mean? All sort of flows in together. And that is the current play there at the moment. All right, so that's SEC. Now let's have a look at the detail. Wookie says no comment. No comment, says Wookie. All right, let's have a look at the details. So we've got, just to recap, we had a letter from, let me see, just jump through here. We had a letter regarding, on the 8th of April, regarding defendant Richard Hart's motion to dismiss. So we had that. And then, of course, we had the plaintiff's response to that on the 9th. And so we have that here. And, of course, we also had the motion to stay. So this motion to stay, particularly with the discovery phase, the information discovery phase, and that's a real problematic side of this. That was rejected. So the station mode was rejected by the courts. And so, yeah, let me just jump through here. The parties were heard on the motion to stay, pending a decision on the forthcoming motion to dismiss. And for the record, state the rest of the court denied the motion to stay and ordered the discovery to proceed. So we've got two things happening at the moment. We've got the motion to dismiss happening in the short term. That's what we want to win. And of course, that's playing out as per the timeline. So we've got the RH response on the 22nd, and then we've got the Richard Hart versus SEC oral arguments to basically fight it out then in the 22nd of October. So that's the play. And then of course we've also got this the motion to stay was denied, and so therefore information discovery is going to continue, right? And of course that is let me just see, I've got that down here. That discovery here was scheduled here, and so we've got basically information discovery between the March the 21st, 2025 and July 25, 2025. So that's due next year. So should Richard lose the motion to dismiss in October, that would proceed. So basically it's going to continue on there. All right. So that is the play. That is what's happening there. And in any case, Richard Hart there put out a post regarding the market at the moment. And of course, the call for an Amicus brief, right, from the community. So the Pulsechain price is almost down to the SEC compliant week below, and so he's really talking about back when let's go to back here when we had the 31st of July, when we had this the SEC announcement about the court case versus Richard Hart, Pulsechain, Pulsex, and Hex back here on the 31st. So that was kind of that. Price is almost down to the SEC compliant week low. not financial advice. So, some people take that as a bullish thing. I know Crypto Coffee and others out there, talking about picking up Pulsechain and you got to be bullish and lots of stuff. We'll see. Past performance is no guarantee to the future, of course. 97,000 views on that in 11 hours, so pretty widespread. That is from Richard, and you can see here back here in July, and of course with the SEC, and then of course the current price here waning down there at the moment after that big pump that we had, Magic Carp Ride pump. All right, so that is the place there. Now we did get some feedback from Richard also about the fact that your free speech is under attack. The software has been sued. Talking about Pulsechain, Pulsex, and Hex, of course. Code is speech. So we're getting back down to fundamental principles of the United States, I guess, down to the Constitution and things like that. Please consider having a lawyer write an amicus brief. So this is Richard Hart's call, having to write an amicus brief to support your rights. So amicus brief is pretty much like a third party that's not involved directly in the case, like the defendant and the plaintiff. Defendant being Richard Hart, Pulsex, Pulsechain, and Hex, and of course the plaintiff being the SEC. And so third party people can write an amicus brief, and that's basically to provide information or an opinion to the judge, pretty much at the court there, and maybe you come up with something as a third party person that is relevant to the case, right? So you can either read the original motion to dismiss, the arguments for and against based on Richard Hart's team as the defendant or the SEC as the plaintiff. And of course, we haven't seen what the SEC's reply is at the moment, so you probably need that additionally to also help make counter arguments. But maybe something happens there that some amicus brief has that actually helps support the case for Richard Hart and of course the Pulsechain, Pulsex, and Hex positions. If you're a software developer or use blockchains at all, that's you guys out there, anybody using the blockchain, this precedent may affect you. Not only does it affect people using Pulsechain, but it affects all of crypto users, all blockchains, or everybody, and so around the world. So this is actually a global case, and it could set precedent in the United States. So this is a very, very big deal. Our response in support of the motion to dismiss the case against the Hex, Pulsex, and Pulsechain software and I is due August the 22nd. Yes, the software is listed as a defendant software, for goodness sake. It is really weird. It is a really weird case. And so this is a big deal. And hopefully we get a lot of amicus briefs from a lot of other blockchains, developers, etc., and users around the world, because it is quite bizarre having the Pulsechain, Pulsex, and Hex included. Really is crazy. And of course, that response is the 22nd, as I say, which is 42 days away. So that is from Richard. So yeah, spread that around. He's also posted stuff around the United Nations and other things like that. So kind of cool. Now let's get into a post here by, I think, a practicing lawyer, Nuclear Herbs. And he's got 2 points. He says, number one, people who have viewers or subscribers or friends in other crypto communities should share this message because they may understand the importance of filing an amicus brief. Undoubtedly, the SEC addressed the issue in their response brief since RH raised it in his motion. The SEC should publish its response brief so that the potential amici can review the SEC's arguments and counter them as appropriate instead of having to wait until late August to even get started on those briefs. Obviously, you want to get them in early. Who knows, maybe an amicus brief filed by an outside party. And this is probably the key point. Maybe an amicus brief filed by an outside party will raise an issue or cite a case or give RH team a perspective that even they hadn't considered or simply feel like is good point that should be developed further. And of course, we got Nuclear Herbs here reaching out to, I think a Fox Business person to cover it. So we're obviously getting media coverage and getting politicians involved is a very, very big deal in raising this because it could have wide-reaching implications given the fact that, Pulsechain, Pulsex, and Hex, which are code software, also being taken to task by the SEC. And that has massive ramifications for all of crypto and blockchain technology out there. So yeah, it is a big, big deal there. So hopefully we will see many amicus briefs get put in by third parties not involved directly in the case, providing information and some insights there. And potentially Richard's dream team of lawyers may be able to build on some of those as well. It can be kind of cool for the oral arguments, which are coming up in October. That is the most fundamental phase of this. to get the case dismissed. And like I say, it's very weird in my view with Pulsechain and all those softwares being in there. Kind of crazy, really. All right, and I do believe it does, as Richard's pointed out, it does open up the constitutional stuff in my view. So we'll see what the lawyers think as a layman, of course, but we'll see what the lawyers think there and the judge as well. All right, so that is Pulsechain. Let's jump over to Pulsex at the moment. Pulsex at 1800. That's pretty much hit the zone that we talked about in the last couple of days. And yeah, we got to 1669 there. So just pierced slightly through it. But that's kind of bounced where we thought we might get support here. We had resistance here in December. It's kind of bounced from there. And of course, resistance a bit further here in November as well. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. And the RSI on the daily is down at 35. I'm looking at the weekly here at the moment. Let's have a look at the weekly. The RSI is down at 36. So still better than Pulse, but and we've still got our higher lows intact compared to where they were. So that is that at the moment. So do you buy when there's fear on the markets? That's the question I guess people will ask. And if you do, you get big volumes for it. And if it spins around in a couple of weeks' time, you know, maybe when Richard Hart puts his response to the SEC, then that will be seen as a bullish event. And we see some Amicus briefs, maybe people like that too. We shall see. And same token at the moment, now this ratio has come down under 50,000, but it is still looking pretty good. I'm not sure why I've lost my my channel that I had. I'm not sure why that's gone. What's going on there? Anyway, I lost my channel. Actually, what we got the incentive pulse there. Let's go to pulse and we go to price here. I think I had it on the wrong chart. Yeah, there we go. And so yeah, we have come down the last 2 weeks, but we're still in our channel. We're still above 44,000, and so you know, still looking okay at this stage. Just below 50,000 at 49 at the moment. Probably face a bit of pressure possibly in the next week. So yeah, we'll keep an eye out on that, but still above 44,000 at the moment. All right, let's go to Hex on Pulsechain. Like I say, I've talked about this earlier, but basically it's you know, good buying zone, good DCA zone, and you're getting tons of volume on this SEC downward pressure at the moment. One could argue. EHEX likewise has actually been not likewise has actually been fairly stable here on the daily. You can see that for what 5-6 days now, sitting at just above 1/1200th of a penny, and of course mad gains there too. All right, that brings us into the rest of the Richard Hart tokens. We can see that nothing on the Hex derivatives is green today. We have got green on the last 6 hours, but nothing green on the 24-hour basis. Let's go to the stable coins. How are they performing? Well, we got LUSD there. I've talked about this being a good specular play, maybe $150 in it. Could be, you know, a good little play there. Not your main bags, use a DGM wallet, all that sort of stuff. But that's up 13% today. Let's look at PDI. PDI is actually down 17%, so they're getting hit hard. Those ones are getting hit hard, and that is down 17% at the moment. LUSD, of course, has got the mint cap now, and it's got the burning mechanism ticking away, so it's fun to watch. Like I say, you know, $150, throw at it, you know, it could end up being quite good in the future. And of course, especially if they hit their big burn target of 10 trillion. I think it's going to take a bit longer than they expect, which was 5 months. But, you know, it'll be interesting to see. Let's look at the burn at the moment. 4.257% has been burned. So it is going up slowly and surely. But of course, you really need to get up to a burn like 98% in something. So we'll see how this plays out. It might help spur on some parabolics in the chart at some stage. But yeah, typically I always think you're kind of going to get to 98% before you really start to see some, you know, hyperbolics or whatever. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Certainly, you know, for a risk part of your portfolio, $150 could end up doing some cool things. We'll see. We'll see. But definitely sitting in the middle of the range at the moment on the bottom of this floor. So let's see where it goes. It's going to be fun. All right. I think that's it on there. Let's go to the main influencer coins. Nothing really happening on influencer coins. Maddie Allen, which was down, the worst one, I think yesterday it was, is now up 1%. So a bit of recovery there at $1.09. Everything else is pretty much down. SolidX, which was also doing pretty well, is down 11.5%. That's pretty much it. Note Token, which was the star for the last 2 days, is pretty much flat today at 2,800th of a penny. So big shout out to Randy Elasky out there. And Note Token, that is looking pretty solid at the moment. And of course, the chart, if you look on the chart, it's a pretty good damn looking chart. Let me look at that chart in Pulsechain. So yeah, it's doing well. It's on the log scale, right? So the top of the market move was 0.8 of a penny. It's currently at 2800th of a penny at the moment, so just below 0.3 of a penny. So yeah, you can take it as what you will, but overall, I think the chart's looking pretty good compared to some structures that we see. All right, let's go into the Pulsechain overall as we wrap up this commentary on the markets where we are. And let's see, we got 19. Oh no, is that the right one? Yeah. Actually, we've got a lot of volume on the downside, unfortunately, but we've got lots of volume today. On a weekday, we got 19.6 million at the moment on trending, and this is on the 6 hourly. But the 24 hours, we've got Leonidas doing pretty well again, up 329%. And let's have a quick look at Leonidas. Let's have a look at that chart. So a real big pump today. Look at that pump it up there. So someone pumped it, didn't they? Someone pumped Leonidas today. Probably, I don't know who's running this project, but it got pumped. It does have a website, so you can check that out. We got LUSD that we just talked about. That's up 14%, so that's doing really well. BBC big bonus coin, so it's a utility incentive token on 9-inch. Is it 9-inch? Yeah. 9-inch. That's up 8%. We've got loan token, the utility token, up 3.5%. So we've actually got some utilities making a move today. That's kind of really nice to see. And 9-inch itself is up just a little bit there, green there. The third biggest DEX are running on Pulsechain at the moment. 390,000 transactions, a lot of transactions today. And so, yeah, that's a good sign as well. Let's look at the top range. We've got 18.6 million. And looking at the top movers there as well, pretty similar lineup for all those as well. So that's pretty much it on that. So that is Pulsechain today. Pulsechain, Pulse gains. Well, Pulse gains when the price recovers, but at the moment it's gains if you can pick up tons of volume and you can find the bottom and you pick up those volumes, you'll be very happy about that. It's the holy grail is finding the bottom and also finding the tops, right? That's the play. All right, so that's where we're at the moment. So yeah, I mean overall, Hex Pulse they're down 3%. So maybe the bleeding's going to stop here. We've got that support on those previous resistance lines. And maybe we'll chill here, or otherwise maybe the next week's going to be pretty continue that red slide until the RSI really gets oversold, and then the market's like, well, this is so damn cheap now, let's buy it all up. So that's kind of the play. And maybe we see a magic carpet ride candle as well, and that's always possible given the post today. Who knows? Obviously those things can sometimes play out. All right, let's get into Mafia. Yeah, before we get Mafia though, we're going to talk about Coast. So let's do that. Let me just pull up the Mafia charts for our next topic. We've got Pulse Mafia and BNB Mafia, so we're going to talk about those. Before we do that, though, let's pull up the old Coast and talk about this one because it's a pretty cool news. What else there? We got CC's in house there. Scoop mode. I still got conviction, and RH Coin says CC, we like it, and so do we. Definitely when the price is low, it's time to accumulate DCA. Maybe you can even wait if you're trying to time the bottom. You're obviously going to pick up more. So people are going to do different things. Wookie says lost in Hex. Indeed, Hex is like such a steal right now. Damn, Wook, it sucks, says CC. Not financial advice, but maybe people can use Hex to provide liquidity on IMM and earn. That's true. There's definitely opportunities of getting utility out of those coins as well, waiting for the price to rebound. If you're doing crypto short term, we'll know what you know. Crypto is for the long games, is CC. Yeah, and trying to pick up these bottoms at the moment. RSI is really a good call there at the moment, and of course the fundamental news that we've covered today as well. You can sort of think about those and make decisions there. Now we did have bullish news on Coast. So we've got direct buy is active again on Coast. Now the link to Coast is in the video description. We've got Brian's link. I'm pretty sure it's there. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure it's still in the list there. Where are we going down here? Yeah, Coast is there. So that's got, you also get 5,000 weight token bonus as well. So that's, and you're helping Brian there. That's support to our community leader who does a great job in our Discord. It says that you can use it to acquire Hex, Pulse Hex, and weight tokens directly on the Coast app using the US dollar balance of your account. So if you bridge in some US dollars into the account from your bank, and you won't need any gas either. So you don't need any Pulse gas there or Rat Pulse. And yeah, you can welcome to Pulsechain. So that's pretty much it. So that is really cool from Coast. Leave them a comment if you're in there. I'll post the link to that. But that's good news for the Pulsechain. That direct on-ramp being up and running and ramping up. That's back to the normal services. Very cool there. They'll have all the details about countries and stuff like that on that site as well. I'm not going to go through that, but you can check it out on the site. That is Coast, looking good. In fact, if I don't know, I might try and get the Coast team on to talk about their services to everybody as well, to help people understand how that works if they need further information. But that is it. You leave a comment on there, they always respond. They're really good at responding on there. They've also got a service desk, I think, that operates on the website, so you can hit them up on there too if you have any questions. What else are we going to say about that? Yeah, leave them a comment and share the site so it helps Pulsechain grow. You guys play a huge role in getting Pulsechain to grow with your community on X. If you've got hundreds of people, then if 100 people send out 100 a post to their hundreds of people, then you've got tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people seeing the post. So it really makes a big deal. All right, big shout out to them. Let's get into Mafia. Bang, 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 as we say. Bang, bang, bang. I haven't even pulled up the video. Let me do the video. I'll do my video, my bang, bang. Let's go. And bang, bang. All right. Got to do the bang, bang. Yeah, there we go. So that is the price. At the moment, we've got Mafia at the moment is currently at 1/10 of a penny, just over that, almost 11/10 of a penny. Sitting there at the moment. So really cool. As you guys know, it means that when there's taxes, they get sold into the market. If any accounts get sold into market, it lowers the price, but the taxes go into the vault. And it allows new players, that's like you and other people that join, to pick up Pulse even cheaper. So that's kind of cool at the moment. So on the Mafia, that's on Pulsechain. Market cap currently at $1 million. The peak market cap was 2.5, so a nice little retrace there, and everyone gets to get in nice and early. Kind of cool. Now we do have some cool features in at the moment. I'm going to put that in today. Actually, what happened there? Let's get out of there, and let me just take that over. We've got hidden features now in here. So hidden features. Let me just type that in. Hidden inventory. Hidden inventory that is now active, so you can do that. So if you've got inventory, you can go to like the crates area, and then you'll see on the right hand side, you'll see your inventory. We're going to talk about that. That's kind of cool, and that's started up now, so kind of neat. All right, so that can be picked up. We've got Mafia, of course. We've got BNB Mafia. The current price of that is down at 0002989. So fantastic entry over on Mafia. You can become a real whale over there. Picking up. And so what's $1 million at the moment? If you want to buy $1 million, become a millionaire, hold remember there's only 1 billion tokens on BNB Mafia there, and that will cost you only $299 to pick up $1 million. So it's kind of cool. Now you got a 5% buy tax, so you'll have to adjust for that if you want to get exactly $1 million. So you might want to buy $310 or something to make sure that you get that $1 million in your wallet. All right, so those are the two on there at the moment, and of course you can find the contracts on the Mafia site. So if you guys haven't got that, we'll post this. You can find the smart contracts for this, of course, in the Buy Mafia button at the top. If you want to find those contracts. So just quickly, I'll navigate there quickly. But here's the buy. There is a 4.7% buy tax, 16.6% sell tax. The contracts are different on Pulsechain and Ethereum. So this is, BNB. So that's the contract for Pulsechain there. You can just copy it and put it in the deck screener. And you can quickly swap over to BNB and do the same, right? So you can swap over to Mafia and you got the same buy and sell taxes. You probably need 5% buy slippage, 20% sell slippage. And of course, there is the Mafia BNB contract on BNB. So it's pretty easy to do it. Let's add up the vault though, because the vault's what everyone's talking about, as well as the cool gameplay. So let's get into how much that is worth today. It just keeps going up all the time, which is cool. I like that. And this is the biggest GameFi project on Pulsechain, and it's really starting to make waves. So we've got $58,582 at the moment on BNB. We've got 112.2 BNB, and we've got 950,000 Mafia ready to sell by the tax man. He's going to sell that into the market, so that potentially could lower the price here. What you could do if you want to buy Mafia on BNB is you could run that function first. You run that function, it sells into the market, and it pushes the price down, and then you buy on it. Isn't that cool? You can actually have that ability to do that, which is cool. And then you can buy up even cheaper. There we are. There's a tip of the day for you on Mafia. Don't tell anybody I told you that, but there we go. That is in play right now. Yeah, and you could become quite a large holder of Mafia over there. That's what I say about the tokenomics is pretty cool like that. Now, when it gets to the point where demand is so much stronger, then obviously the price is going to go up, right? If there's more buyers than sellers, then that's going to push the price up eventually. So just remember that as well. All right, so that's how much is there. Let's jump over to, actually, let's just do BNB quickly. We've got 856 active players over there, 16 crime families, and the vault is at 112 at the moment. You can see the ranks of the families at the moment. So Original Gangsters #1, the Syndicate #2, but for how much longer? I think it's going to be taking #1 at some stage. We've got the Mugnaus at #3, the Yakuza at #4, and the Illuminati at #5. They're the ones that share in the 10% of the vault on BNB, 30% for the top family, 10% for the bottom family. In a very special spot, 6, 7, and 8, which get conditional payments of 5%. We've got Costa Nostra, the Piggy Blinders, and OG Sopranos. So that is the top of the list at the moment over there. Crates are still there, so you can still get crates. You can buy keys for $20. They're all there as well. You can use any of those currencies, and you might still win a business. That's what we don't have in Pulsechain. You can only get businesses on the secondary market if people are selling them, but on a BNB, you can actually still win the businesses. There are 52 left. 52 left at the moment. We know that there is only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 times 11. What's 111? So that is how many there are. There's 52 of those left at the moment. You can also win up to 5 million Mafia, and there's still all the 50 million Mafia is still there. So really, really cool stuff over there. Looking at the marketplace on BNB, we've had almost $5,000 in trading volume, 70 items sold. That's actually gone up. So that's actually cool to see the items sold has gone up, and 4.6 BNB. So kind of cool. And there's lots of opportunities on this chain to do that. So that is BNB. Let's go over to Pulsechain and add up the vault over there. And let's see what that is at the moment. So the vault at the moment on BNB, 3.76 billion pulse. I'll say that again, 3.76 billion pulse at the moment. The Taxman's got a little bit of Mafia in there to sell and fill up the vault further. But yeah, that is huge, 3.76. Let's add that together with our BNB. So we're 145, 679. And that's with Pulse coming down in price, right? We're sitting at $204,261 in the vaults. So a very, very attractive GameFi project is Mafia. And when we get a bit of a rebound in Pulse, that's numbers are going to climb very fast. So kind of cool. Because it's so high now at the amount of Pulse, that means every cent that moves, every 1%, that moves in the price of Pulse, this moves, $1,000, $1,500 or something like that every move. So it's kind of cool. All right, so that is that at the moment. So big prizes in the Mafia game, especially during this time of Pulsechain where it is at the moment. So let's jump over to the overview markets here. We've got 776 players on Pulse Mafia, 17 crime families. We've got one more than on BNB, and of course 3.76 billion Pulse. Remember, the game is expected to start at the minimum point at 5 billion Pulse. Obviously, the team has to be technically ready to launch, but the actual target for phase 12, which is the game go live, we're currently on phase 5 plus, then, that is coming up there. So plenty of time to keep building that vault up and get pretty juicy as we go up. Climb the $100,000, add another one and another one. So that's kind of cool. The families at the moment, we've got the Syndicate #1. Yeah, that's us, of course. Our Don, the Archie, the Capone is amazing. Doing a great job there at 355,000 worth. Next is Gearheads with Gifford Ware and Crypto Kool-Aid. Sitting at 294. We've got the Accuser at #3, this mysterious family at #3, and at 162,000. The Salamancas at #4. They've got Family Plus. You can see the two families of Family Plus so far, the Syndicate, the Salamancas, and then of course we've got Hustlers at #5 there. That's led by Lit Gains at the moment, and that's 127,000. Kind of cool. And you can see the percentage shares of that get 10% of the vault every week. And then we've got number 6, 7, and 8 with the Mugnaus, the Grand Clan, and Original Gangsters. Grand Clans there run by Hansi Crypto, and the Mugnaus by Don Mugnau, who's also playing over on the BNB side, right? So we've got the OG Gangsters and the Mugnaus are over on the BNB against the Syndicate as well. So we've got a bit of competition there too. And those are the conditional spots there at the moment. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Everything else, we've got all these other families in here also. Crates at the moment, obviously you can't get businesses in crates anymore, but you can still get OG NFTs. You can still win up to 5 million Mafia from the looks of it. And we haven't had a winner on Mafia for a little while. We're sitting at 39.2 million Mafia out of the 50 million remaining. You can also pick up keys, which are very important in the game. They're going to be multifunctional in the gameplay, so very, very important there for that. Remember, it costs 2,000 Mafia to get started. Just connect your wallet up and you $2,000 Mafia, I should say. It's only a couple of dollars to play the game, so anyone can do that. But I do strongly suggest you join a family. Some families are open; they'll let you join easy. Some families will have an application process. In the syndicate, we're pretty open-minded about people coming in as the game goes on. So you're still very early, but even later on, people will probably be able to get into these families as long as they are successful in the application process. The syndicate does have a $100 joining fee, but you get the benefits of both Pulsechain and the BNB in terms of earning Pulse and BNB. So it's kind of cool like that. And the better player you are, the higher the ranks you go, the more you'll earn in the game. So it's kind of neat. Now you can play solo, and there'll be lots of people that will play solo. Lone wolves and all that sort of stuff. You can buy and sell in the market. You can buy crates and win big prizes. There's lots of opportunities. You're going to be able to trade the inter-game market when that starts. That's in the future. So there's lots of opportunities. You can kill people. Of course, you can do crimes. There's going to be lots of economic activity in the game. And it's going to be pretty vibrant from that point of view. So that's kind of cool. Let's have a look at the marketplace at the moment. The market at the moment is at $120,000 of trading volume, 1,982 items sold. So that's still tuning over pretty nicely. Pretty happy with those numbers. And total fees, 107.4 million pulse. And of course, that feeds the vault, right? So the crates feed the vault, people that buy keys, and the market feeds the vault. That's the secondary market, right? Kind of the crates is kind of the primary market at the moment. And that's how you win a lot of the in-game assets and things. The market's kind of the secondary market where people trade after they've sort of used their keys to get crates and stuff. And then, of course, both the crates and the market, along with the buy and sell taxes, all those three feed the vault, right? So the vault gets fed, and you can see the breakdown of the vault here at the bottom of this chart. So we've got the tax man, which is the buy and sells, the keys, and the marketplace. And at the moment, keys is actually number one, right? So they're making up the most of the pool there, which is pretty crazy. What's that? 56% of the pool of the vault is from the market. So market's been very successful in that regard. All right, so that's kind of cool. We can see lots of cool things in here. Obviously, latest things to buy and sell, and there's lots of cool opportunities on the market right now. So definitely worth considering. Now, what else are we going to say about that? We've got new features, right? So new features in the house. So let's go to the crates, and I'm pretty sure I'm logged on here. You'll see that we have two new things. We've got game inventory at risk. So we've got this is brand new from yesterday. So we've got at risk, and it's got a little red sign. So anything you have in the game inventory, like some of these assets here, is going to be at risk, right? And then you have your wallet inventory. So this is safe. So if you've got your stuff in your wallet, it's not going to be, you're not going to lose it if you get killed, basically, okay? That's pretty much how that works. We also have a new feature, of course, with the what was it here? We have new settings here in the profile. So we have settings here. Now, if you change, you can have inventories public, so people can see your inventory. You can inventory just to the family, so people in your family can see your inventory. And then you have inventory private, only you can see your inventory. And when you click that, you'll get a wallet transaction will pop up there, just signing that you're moving your inventory privacy settings. And that's going to be huge in the game, because people can't see what you've got so much. And so it's going to give you some protection there, right? Kind of cool. We've also got a profile description. You can click the edit button and do that. So you can click that and write your profile. Pretty cool. Oh, it's going to bring up a ticket for that too. Just a signature. So yeah, you can click that, and like I say, you got your game inventory and your wallet inventory there as well, telling you what's at risk in the game if you get killed in the inventory and what's safe in your wallet. So very, very cool improvements there from the team. Now you can only see that setting if you've got Player Plus. You need to have Player Plus. So let's go to the wiki, have a quick look at that. And yeah, you'll need Player Plus. So let's scroll down to that. Let's see. Player Plus down here. And you will be you'll only see this. This is the hidden inventory option. You'll only see that if you got Player Plus. So just remember that. That's cool. And of course, you get a profile custom description box as well. And you can see both of those there, right? So Player Plus shows up when you got this little badge and stuff like that. And to get Player Plus, you're going to need an OG NFT, right? So you can buy them on the market now. So you can go to filter items, go to, I guess, OG NFTs. Does that still work, that one? Yeah, got OG NFTs. So yeah, this is out of the market. So you need to have it out of the market. I think is it out of the market? Yeah, or it might be in the market actually. So you need to have that OG NFTs, wrapped NFTs. So yeah, you need to have one of these OG NFTs. It has to be in your wallet, and then you can click on it and upgrade that to Player Plus. It will burn that NFT though. Remember that. So at the moment they're trading about $90 or something. If you want to find out what it's trading, just click on it, and you need to. You can see the current price. The last sale was $90 there. So market cap 54. There's 601 of them in the market at the moment apparently. So there we go. All right, that is it on those upgrades. So pretty important. So we are seeing a lot of the Player Plus features being added into the network, and so yeah, we've got this unlimited page clicks that's been updated. We've got the AI avatars being updated. This has just been added yesterday, and of course the hidden inventory option has been added today. What else have we got in here? So that's it at the moment, I think, out of that list. So cool additions today in the Mafia game. Not bad, eh? Not bad at all. Kind of cool. What player am I on at the moment? Let me have a look. Yes. All right. So cool. That is it for the highlights. So those are the new features. And if you're in the syndicate, you know what to do. You've been told what to do. So follow those instructions. All right. I think that's it, is it? And now in 5 minutes. Now we've got one more thing left. We're going to go to the Hex Daily Stats, quickly check out, see how Pulsechain's doing. Ethereum, we don't have those details for a long time now. Pulsechain there, looks like we do have Pulsechain here, day 425 was it? And we've got the payout today, 7.15 Hex per T-share at the moment on the old Pulsechain side. T-shares at the moment down up 8,900. We're sitting at 9,336,000 in the ownership pool for T-shares on Pulsechain. And the rewards, big penalties today, 2.8 million almost, 66.7 million in the reward pool there for those T-share miners. Not bad. Liquid holders up 71, miners down 12, sitting 123,531 miners on the old Hex on Pulsechain, the Magic Cup Ride chain. What will happen in the future? Wow. And it's going to be fun to see how this all plays out for sure. The chain itself is immutable. It just keeps ticking away. And of course, the community, I don't think the influence is going nowhere. It's going to be just ticking away as well. And of course, a lot of stakeholders involved in the chain. So bring it on. Bring it on. The people versus the SEC does seem to be the case there, but with ramifications for all of blockchain and crypto and innovation. So let's see where this battle goes in the next month or two ahead. 42 days to go until Richard Hart responds, of course, to the SEC. But yeah, get out those Amicus briefs as well. And if you know anybody that's relevant for that, get them in if you're a developer or use the blockchain and have some, have been looking at some of those court papers. Get yourself in there and help join the fight. That's only bullish for the court case going ahead with the case for dismissal. All right, is that enough? Did we do a good job? We covered flipping heaps of stuff today. It was pretty epic. So I hope you guys enjoyed that discussion and topics. All right, let's leave it on a really bullish video on the way out. Why don't we do that? And of course, we're going to talk about the Magic Carpet Ride. You know it. All right, Pulsechain Hex, Pulse Hex for the win. 3 hoo-has. Hoo-ha, hoo-ha, hoo-ha. All right, catch you next time. Take care, everybody. See you in Discord. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and hit the bell. All the good stuff. We're streaming to over 10,500 subscribers on 3 channels: Hex Token Channel, Superman Crypto, and Pulsechain X. A big shout out to everybody out there, and a big shout out to Richard R. and his legal team. We wish you the best, and get out and support. All right, take care now. Bye for now. See ya.
In theory, if someone were a billionaire and they had like all this money, why wouldn't they just buy more of the thing they liked instead of dumping the thing they liked? Like if Bezos bought shares in Amazon, would you be pissed off? If Apple does a stock buyback and they buy more of their own shares in their company back from the public, which is a way to turn earnings into yield for the shareholders, do you get mad and yell at Apple? And so we had to come up with a word for this fan fiction fantasy, which is the opposite of a rug pull, called a magic carpet ride. And so if you're worried about risk of a rug pull, what weighted value have you given the risk of a magic carpet ride? And it's just hilarious to me.
It's fun to watch Hex pumping up the charts. It's left behind all kinds of broken hearts who didn't buy the dip, who didn't DCA. And now that we're on a rip, it's hard to look away. Now I'm not the one to hand out free advice, but as for me, I wouldn't dare think twice about buying a bag, since we're still somewhat down. This rocket ship's about to break the speed of sound. You know these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco. I tip my hat to everyone who minds. You're getting paid out while you're killing time. It makes room for a nice vacation to the beach, perhaps a celebration now that you are rich. Ha ha! Ignore the haters who all called you crazy. You studied hard while they were being lazy. Now you're packing bags, about to take a ride up on that rocket ship, mooned up and starry-eyed. I feel these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco. Now that we're summer bound and the sun is bright, I see that it's not round but rather has 6 sides. It's a work of art that's written into code, designed by Richard Hart to make our bags explode. You know these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco. Yeah, we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco.